Hey folks, we're going to continue working on Spelljammer combat and exploration artwork here for this book that we're creating. Give me a second here to check my signal. I'm going to go through my intro spiel and then we'll get to work here for an hour and a half or so. So for folks that are new to the stream or you're catching this in the past, be welcome to skip forward like 2 minutes to get into the meat of the artwork that we're going to be doing today. But it sounds like the signal is coming through loud and clear. So let's get after this. Okay, so we're going to do an intro spiel here. Hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing game supplements. I illustrate them. I publish online. And my emphasis has been on 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons for the past 5 years. There is a slew of work that I have produced that is linked down below that you can kick open to look at full previews. If you're on a desktop, if you go into each individual, like a lot of these things are bundled. If you then go into the bundle and then each specific product that's inside of the bundle, then you can open up underneath on the desktop, underneath the cover photo, it'll say full preview. And then if you click on that, or if you're on a mobile device, there'll be an eye icon on the right-hand side of the screen, which you can open, and in either case, it'll open up a full a PDF preview that you can look at the content. If you are an art enthusiast, here for the pixels, there's probably about 150 different illustrations for you to check out inside of the works that are linked down below. If you're a 5e enthusiast, the stuff I build is meant for both players and the DMs. So I run a campaign from level 1 to 20. In about 200 to 250 hours. So most of the things that I publish are either tools that I developed during the course of a campaign that I thought was cool enough to formalize and put out there for you guys to check out, or there's mechanics in there that I think I'm going to need for an upcoming campaign that I wanted to flesh out and make official and put all the bells and whistles to. Spelljammer is both of those. I've ran Spelljammer type in different formats over the decades, and now that 5th edition came out, we had a great opportunity to do a massive glam up on how our ship combat system works. So I'm really excited about that. Like and subscribe, bell icon, hit all the things. Hey, I just posted I'm on Twitter. I'm at Phil Kearney here on Twitter. You can follow me if you want. I post stuff like recent illustrations that we've produced. As well as I always notify people when I'm live. But the best way to keep track of what's going on here on the channel is to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and get notifications through YouTube that have gone live. I'm here 6 days a week. Our next major goal is 500 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel, welcome to the mix. If you think you're having fun here or you want to see more of what we're doing in the future, please do consider liking, subscribing, and sticking around and saying hey. So let's see. So we talk about, we're at episode, 252 right now. We built this book cover around episode 15. So you can go into the Spelljammer playlist here on my channel to check out the history where this was developed from and all the other art that we've produced in the meantime. So we talk about building role-playing games, illustrating them, and then publishing them online, right? So we have an idea. Let's make Spelljammer combat work using 5e mechanics, like straight out of the box 5e stuff. Let's see how close we can get to it. We play test the thing. It works well. We start figuring out the text of it. We build a document. We send it off to our editor. The editor sends it back. No, say it this way. Okay, so we'll say it this way. We then break down the text into digestible pages, breaking up like I said, breaking up the ideas so they're in digestible chunks each page. And as we go through and finish building each page, all these gaps that we see on each page is an opportunity for us to create illustrations. So we'll take an individual page, we'll extract it as a PDF. I will then drop over here into Photoshop and insert that PDF as a single page. We can then paint on that page, and when it's done, we can upload it back into Word. Once everything is uploaded, I can hyperlink everything for the table of contents and self-referencing, seal it into a PDF, drop it on the DMsGuild, and you'll have a link to it that you can go and check out a free preview. There also happens to be 72 tokens that we painted for use with Light of Xeraxis or with Spelljammer in general. That'll be included with it. I'm thinking about offering those separately. And that can then be bundled with the book itself. Still considering that. Hey, Ked, how you doing? Yeah, no kidding. I don't know if you know this, Ked. But when I build a hyperlink document, I build icons to string up and to do click-throughs. Like if we were to go to like here's page 57, and if we are on the front page here, if I open up my, oh boy, I am just sucking right now. Here we go, icon. This bottom rail here is a navigation bar. This is the traditional hamburger that leads to a table of contents. Ships and equipment, combat, spell casting, exploration, hazards, creatures menagerie, random system generator, and conversion guide for Light of Xeraxis. So anytime you're inside the, obviously when we get the table of contents strung up on the, it'll pop up in the Word document on the left-hand rail to go to all the different points of conversation that we have. And let's grab this real quick here and run this back up to the front. So here's all the subsections that we have inside the document that you'll be able to hyperlink off of this page, but you'll hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And so I'm gonna hit save here. So these will all be hyperlinked, and then there'll be the sidebar because it's a PDF. When you click on the PDF, the sidebar rack will open up, and then you can click on any of these links already that are in there. But beyond that, on our navigation bar, like this is the first page of the exploration chapter, so it has this icon up here. So when you're in any section of the book, if you click on this icon, it'll take you to the first page of this section. And while you're inside the exploration section, this icon is highlighted so you know where you are inside of the document. When we go here to the table of contents, we'll put this hamburger emblem next to the table of contents, just like we have the exploration emblem here on the exploration page, so you'll know which chapter you're in at all times. This will be reversed. So we'll build a navigation bar here, and anytime you're on any page, you can click on one of these navs, and it'll take you to the front of that chapter, which isn't really necessary because of the table of contents being strung up, which will create the sidebar that you can click through to. But I just think it's a quality of life thing. I think it's just a nice piece of polish. DMsGuild. If you haven't seen this before already, tap, untap, burn. The color mana spell point variant rule books that I create. This one's 75 pages. And it's a full preview. So when you crack this one open, let's dive down. I don't know, let's go into the character classes, right? This one was a different. I'm going to reformat this entire book when 2024 D&D gets released. But for now, we have a hyperlink here that takes you back to the table of contents, and you can see here there's the same nav bar is at the front end of each chapter, but on interior pages it's not. But you can see that, well, here it doesn't. This is a preview, so it's limited. But normally there would be a table of content rack that would be over here. Like if you actually download the document, you'll see the nav bar on the left hand side. But the other thing that we built in here is we have a mana flowchart playmat that we built, which is the very last page. Well, other than advertising, but it's the very back end of the book. So we have these easy reference clickables that'll take you to different sections of the book, which I'm particularly proud of. C for Appendix C. Let me kick through all the spells. Anyway, that's what I do with my hyperlinking. So aside from actually linking like text inside the document, I like to do this as well. So I think I've kind of rambled on enough. I could probably get to painting now, right? Phil, shut the hell up. Get to work, son. So I was thinking of doing something kind of similar with Void Home Pathfinder. Actually, inspired me with that because of the sidebar navigation. Right? Yeah. I'm not sure what gave me the initial inspiration. Oh, what gave me the initial inspiration about that was I was taking a class on web design, and it was talking about icons and flow and making it easy for people to navigate around your website. I made that book back in like 2018, so it's been a hot minute. But it's fun. So anyway, there's that. Let's get this icon hidden so we can click out of this and get back into our actual book. Book. Wop, wop, wop. Boo. Wop, wop. All right, so let's see. We're making a planet here. We're making a Saturn-y kind of thing. Let's get to work here. I'm going to take this back up to 100%. I'm going to click on this here. I'm going to drop the opacity back down again. What I think I want to do right now is make a very big circle. And then I want to make a smaller circle. Whoa. Yeah, that feels about right. What is the size of that pixel, son? 1300. Nice. We can make it a little bit smaller, looking at the Saturn rings over there. Is this the way? No. This is not the way. This is the way. Let's try that again. Waking up. There we go. This is the way. I see some text down there. Give me a hot second to catch up with y'all. Well, apparently I've angered the gods. Let's try that instead. Select inverse. Why does it not do? Ugh, man, I'm having a day. Let's delete this layer. Let's try a new one. Let's go with select. Can I reselect? God, please. Oh, that's what I did. Dummy. It explains a lot. Yeah, I'm having a morning. Welcome to it. There we go. This is what I was trying to achieve. Cool. So what's up? Hey, Zona. I like to listen to a designer create while I'm also working on mine. Me too. I find it really meditative because if you're saying something that sounds really smart, I get to listen in or even rewind a little bit to catch what it is where you started at. And if you're completely just like, if I'm completely lost in the weeds of fucking around with my tools or whatever other bullshit I have to deal with, you can tune me out and focus on whatever it is that you're doing and letting my ramble inspire you to be greater. Let's see. Yeah, that feels pretty good. All right. I'm going to apply layer mask so we punch a hole through our bit. We're going to come back over to here. We're going to drop the opacity a touch. My hope here is that I can skew this into the shape that I want with nominal difficulty. So we're going to do some, we're going to crash. Be-doo. Yeah, let's crush that some more. Wait. Let's duplicate this layer. Free transform here. Why are you so big? Why are you so not big? Well, that's tomfoolery. Thank you. Let's see if I can get this into a place where it's sitting kind of flushy. Free transform. It feels about right. I'm going to duplicate this layer. We're going to just build a bunch of scrap and throw it all away here in a few minutes. But I'm just trying to get this into the same rough position. So I think I want to... Hey there, Timely Timer. Thanks for keeping time. Time for me to take a sip of coffee and contemplate my next life move. Perspective is a thing. Let's take perspective into account. So we'll click on perspective. We'll grab the corners here. Pull this in a bit. Oh, I'm liking that. And then we can free transform again. I tell you, man, that's not bad. That is not bad. Let's squish this down just a little bit more. It's not quite where I want it. Let's go like this. Maybe more like this, and then let's try perspective a bit more. Pull this in. And free transform again. Pinch this down. Not bad. Put it on a tilt. All right, let's put that like that. Let's dare. It's dare. Woo! It's coming up. It's dare. Free transform. Let's up it a bit. I think I want to flatten this a touch more. I'm liking where this is going, though. It's feeling really natural. The proportions aren't bad. Yeah, we're doing this right. I feel like I should just emphasize the perspective just a bit more. pull that in just another. Oh yeah, that's feeling really, really good. So let's make it just a touch bit bigger. That feels like about the same ratio that we're seeing there. So that feels plausible. I'm liking the perspective shift. So let's put it on a tilt. Is that where we want to be? Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, cool. Let's duplicate that layer. And then let's put it on a tilt. Keep it tilting. And make it a bit bigger. This thing seems to be lining up pretty decent. Let's see. Let's delete it. Let's go back to this one. Let's duplicate this one. We're just trying to get our angle right. So here, let's see if we can further emphasize the perspective. Yeah. Oh, that's feeling really, really nice. And then we'll free transform and we'll blow it out a bit. That feels really good. So we'll duplicate the layer, keep ourselves protected from us. Put it on a tilt. Line it up. Now we're starting to get to where I originally intended it to be. Get that out of the way. For transform a touch, pull that up. Yeah. I think that's going to work. Jumpin' Jehoshaphat. We done did it. We're going to go ahead and drop all this in together. We'll drop that out. We'll call this trash rings. Where's our trash? We'll push the trash up with the reference. Not bad. Now we can do cheeky stuff like take our planet. Where's our circle? That's not it. Oh, I have a circle in here somewhere. Well, is my circle. There it is. Nope. Select inverse. Create a layer mask for the ring. And then I can erase that layer. And now I have a perfectly aligned ring. Around the planet. Nice! So we got our angles good. Holy crap, that was awesome. Why am I overheating? Because I have a heating pad on and the apartment's not cold. Get that out of my life. Let's see. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. I just realized a really big sad that I took the time to make sure that the pitch and the angle for the rings are right, but I didn't actually build the fucking rings. Oh my God, story of my life, huh? So now we get to go back in and we get to do it all over again because I am an idiot. So let's try it again this time. But when we do it this time around, let's actually make some circles. All right. How do we want to do this? That was demoralizing, but we know we have the format now. We know what it's supposed to do. Yeah, that's the original. I don't need the original. I need the revised. I mean, I'm proud of us for figuring it out. I just wish I'd realized I would have to go through that whole process over again. But that's okay. We have the restoration ring here. We have the right size for the ring here. Right? Let's conceal our references for now. We'll grab colors off of Saturn's ring. So we're just going to steal Saturn's colors. This is the proper size for the rings. That is good. So everything that we need is in place. We can recreate this ring form. We can recreate this ring format here. Got a lot of extraneous garbage that's polluting my space. Thank you. Oh, that's a good point. I could grab this ring instead of that. This or that. This or that. This or that. Yak yonder, Donner. Yeah. So we'll be able to we can get our rings going, and then we can just align and rematch this format. That shouldn't be very difficult to do now that we have the sizing right. We can drop it down the side. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. So back on task. Let's create some rings. First way we're going to do this is we're going to start here, and we're going to include that there. And let's pull our references back into frame here. Let's take this to 100%. Let's go back to here. Let's create a zone of blackness. Middle marker, exterior limits. There. So now we can grab some color. Well, first off, we can grab some color. Make sure we're operating with the color that we actually want. What kind of colors are we looking at here? Blue, red, blue, a pinch of red. No, blue. I bet that's like is that like an off pink? Looks almost yellow. I can tell when the blue and the green are almost are equal, and the blue trails behind that's typically a pink. But when the red is only slightly ahead of the blue, and both are ahead of the blue, the red and the green are almost the same, but the blue is trailing behind. I believe that's more of a pinkish, but I literally can't tell. I'm just guessing, given what the RGB is, because I don't see any color. So I'm just kind of guessing. Oh wow, we got a little bit of a burst of green here. That's cool. Only happy accidents. Spoken like a true happy friend. So I think what we get to do is, let's see, what is this? That's very trying to find a good base color, realizing that a lot of this stuff is actually somewhat transparent. I think this might be a good default. So let's try that. The other way, let's go down here. Keep it out of the way. This is a slow, lumbering process that I'm going through here. So thanks a lot for taking the journey with me, everyone. And then we have our hole here that we'll punch in the middle of it when we're done. Actually, that hole feels off-center, doesn't it? We'll let's go find that. We can select, modify, contract. That's 500. Too far. So let's go to select. Modify contracts by, let's say, 300. Ooh, man. That's pretty damn close. Nice job, Kearney. Delete that layer. Yes, I'm certain. Thank you for asking. There's our hole again that will... Oh, God, look at that. It's all not right. That's okay. We can... Not a fan of Photoshop not being able to sustain a circle. Luckily, I'm smart enough to figure out how this shit's supposed to work. So we can get rid of this one. Delete layer. There. Now we're on point. Let's see if we can keep Photoshop from fucking up more. Can I duplicate this layer, make it a smart object, convert to smart object. Now, oh. Now we can convert this back. Okay, somebody tell me why there's an egg shape around my circle. Something's not playing the game correctly. Okay, so you can take that central circle under advisement. let's take another layer here, duplicate that layer. What's the next color that we're wanting to grab? How about that? Grab that color. And then we can convert to smart object. And then free transform. I hold down the Alt key and I pull in on the corner so it stays centered where it's at. And I can bring it in. Something like this. And then we can duplicate this layer. Raster, nope. Free transform. I see some text down there. Give me a second. I'll catch up with you. There. There. Rasterize. There. And then we'll do this. Rasterize this image. Click. What's up? I'm not sure I use Affinity, so the design process works a little differently. Never mind, maybe you are doing that. Adobe doesn't handle that well. Yeah, that was okay. So what I've recently finally discovered is that when I am manipulating, like a lot of times, what I would do in the past was is I would create a circle, I would then highlight that circle, and then I would modify the selection so that the selection would change size, right? As a rasterized image using pixel information. And I find that it gets distorted, which it should be logical. It's going to distort as it changes size, and the pixels that are squares interact differently with the shape, which is a circle. You're literally rasterizing and resizing a circle in raster is literally attempting to circle a square or square the circle. If I make it a smart object, that makes whatever that layer I'm working with, it makes it a vector image. So when I'm working with incredibly basic shapes like circles, and I vector the circle, it'll retain its shape no matter how I zoom in or out, and then I can convert from vector back into rasterize, and it'll retain its circle shape even though I've resized it. This is something that I have literally just discovered here in real time with you guys. I was already aware when I was working on the Spelljammer ship tokens. I was aware that if I converted the ship tokens into smart objects or vectored them, I could scale them up from the 50 foot to the 500 foot or down to the 5 foot scale. I could move off of that scale and it'll still retain its shape, and it'll still retain the information I put into the drawing, while resizing via raster would completely ruin it. So for the past few weeks, I've been using vectors to resize things, and I'm just now realizing, like I said, here in real time, this is the first proof I actually have of how distorted the resizing selection in raster versus smart object is. So I have just notably upped my game. So I'm excited about that. This is retention of image quality and pixel integrity is important when we're dealing with a system that's specifically designed to scale in and out by magnitudes of 10. So that's actually pretty important. Let's see. So I am building layers here. Let's see. That's there. I think this inner one, let's fetch another color, because I'm just going to end up punching a hole through the whole thing anyway. Ooh, nice and dark. I'm liking this overall. Right now I'm thinking, how am I going to resolve this? And I think one way I can resolve it is by using a Gaussian blur and a motion blur. So hold on, I gotta fix my chair. I can do a radial. So there's radial blurs, which will spin pixels in a circle in a direction that you choose. And then there's radial blur, which kind of like it's an emanation. It blasts out from the center, and that's the kind of effect that I want to cause fade effects amongst these circles. Why can't I? Thank you. Well, I can't do attitude. Text. I mean, you can if you want. I mean, it's not like it's as I understand. I'm a Photoshop fanatic. Simply because it's the first tools I started to use. Way back in the day when I was first trying to figure out how to use color, Photoshop had the best color tools for me to use. So it made sense for me to use Photoshop. Oops, wrong color. Over here. Oop, there we go. But like Clip Art Studio, one of my friends, he does comic book Kickstarter projects for like 20,000 a pop, and all he uses is Clip Art Studio. Other people I've seen that do professional work, stock art, use Krita. Some people even use GIMP. There's a lot of art programs out there, and Photoshop is arguably one of the most expensive ones. But I revere them because this was the software that helped me figure out how to do color art in the first place. So I'm perhaps unrealistically loyal to them, but in my mind they've earned that loyalty over time. So it was worth it to me. There's no wrong. There's no wrong answer. There's only what tools work best for you. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna. Oh, that was very close. So let's convert this to a smart object, and then let's free transform. Rasterize. Oh, that was curious. It didn't do shit. All right, let's get rid of that. Let's. No. No. Let's duplicate this layer. There we go. That's the one that we want. Okay, now we can make this a smart object. Convert to smart. I'm still even learning where the hell it's at. That's how fresh I am with this shit. Hold on. Let's get back here. Let's go to free transform. I'll go back to rasterize the layer. There. Now we have that as our base. We can take all of these layers here, drop them into a layer there, put this on it, go to here, do that, go, we can delete this layer, and now we can do it again. There we go. Now we have our concentric rings, and it should be preserved A-OK when we go through and blast them out in their proper shape. So you're doing good. Thanks, man. One thing I always told people on my team when I was lead designer at companies, always work non-destructively when you can. Use FX and techniques that can be reversed. Affinity is my preferred program suite, and I think the largest competitor to the Adobe Graphics program right now. Right on. Right on. Right. Yeah, we can stick with that. I like where these rings are at. Let's see. So the next thing I want to do is duplicate this layer, conceal that, and then we can experiment a little. Let's go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Nice. Nice. That is exactly the result that I was hoping for. See that gradient, that fade there? That's fucking fantastic. That is exactly what I was hoping for. And then we can go here like this, and then go back to this layer, and then destroy that gradient so that it's just like that, right? And since this is already at a partial opacity, oh man, that's pretty good. So we can push that up like that. We'll keep that there. Oh, this is exciting. Yeah, you guys kick it. Let's go to filter, and we'll do that again. Blur, Gaussian blur. We're going to drop it down like that. Wait. Classic mistake, not unlike Land War with Asia. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur again. I'll drop that down. Just like that. Icked. Ooh, adorb. We'll go into here and we'll filter, blur, Gaussian blur. That feels pretty good. Okay. We'll be able to punch a hole through. This is where I think I want to have the hole in the ring. So I should be able to select and then deselect the ring on top of it to create a strip that we can then invisibilize. Whatever, Kearney. The words are fake. Let's go to this one and we'll do the same. Duplicate, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, Oh, wait. That'll help. Let's do that. And then we can filter, blur. Here's the Gaussian blur. That feels good. Let's do that. And then, yeah. Drop this in here like that. Nice. And then we can take this and duplicate that layer. And then we can filter, blur. Is the Gaussian blur. Burp, 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 blurp. Something like that. Not horrible. I think that's a decent setup. So let's see. Here and here. Let's here and then let's select the inverse, and then come on, baby. Twitchy hand. Let's build a shell around this one. And then we can go up here, whoop, and we can put, there we are. And I have our rings over formatting like that. And then the whole thing can be dropped down a touch in opacity. That should do. And then we can duplicate, conceal, free transform. Why 4R so big? Let's merge that group, apply that layer, Duplicate this group. No regrets. Ugh, that was mistakable. Let's see. There, that'll make it easier for us to see what we're doing. Free transform. Not bad. Before we make irrevocable mistakes, let's duplicate our layer. There. Burp, burp, burp. Thank you, Timely Timer. Where are we at? 7. Oh my god, it's only 7:25. That's awesome. I think we need to do some perspective. Duplicate that layer. Free transform. There. Centered up. Oops, can't do it that way. Let's disconnect our... Oh, that feels pretty good. Hey, local nerd, how you doing? Hey, Spiderface, regret nothing. Welcome to the next team. I don't know if you guys have been here before, if you're new or not. If you're, I create D&D books. Right now we're working on a supplement for Spelljammer Combat and Exploration. Here's a book cover we created back at episode 15. We're currently on episode 252 of our stream. So we created this back in episode 15. This is a 107-page document. The first 87 pages provide in-depth mechanics for combat, exploration, hazards, spell casting for Spelljammer scale adventuring. Everything that we have is built around scaling from the 5-foot to the 50-foot to the 500-foot scale during combat, and then to scale out from 500 feet to 1 mile to 10 miles to 100, 1,000, all the way up to 100 million miles, which is the maximum speed that these ships can move per day. But we built out this document, and we've been filling in all the gaps. where all the page content demands all these white blanks that we have in the text here is where we've been filling in illustrations and diagrams. So we are currently sitting inside of the exploration chapter. Get my windows all figured out. There we go. Photoshop OBS freaks out a little bit when I kick a 55,000 word document, but the first 87 pages is a bunch of just physics and 5e mechanics to use with Spelljammer, and then the last 20 pages is a conversion guide using those physics. There's an adventure called Light of Xeraxis. Wizards published Spelljammer. It's a reimagining of the original second edition setting back in 89, I believe, is when the first box set actually came out. And then fifth edition here last year created a fifth edition version of those basic mechanics and simplified. Some say oversimplified the way that ships are handled in fifth edition. So I wanted to develop some more in-depth language about that system, and then the last 20. So the Light of Xeraxis comes with the 5th edition box set of the Spelljammer rules. So we took the Light of Xeraxis and we took all the rules that we built here, and we said, if you're going to play Light of Xeraxis and you want to use my rules, here's all the changes that you need to make to Light of Xeraxis to use my rules. So it's a full conversion guide. The back 20 pages of this document is a conversion guide, and then if people buy this, it comes with a zip file that has 72 tokens for all the ships, all the creatures, and then all the NPCs and maps that are needed in Light of Xeraxis. So it's a big bundled package for here's how you can play Spelljammer differently. Here's the adventure with Spelljammer that you can play differently using these rules. And now that you know how to build these tools yourself, you can go forth and make your own campaign. So that's the theme of design that we've got going on here. So let's go down to here and let's actually take this rings there. By putting the mask on the folder that holds the rings, I can do fun stuff like put cast shadows in. So let's do fun stuff like put cast shadows in. Let's put a little bit of red into it. There. Now we can do like this, and on another layer we can do similarly. We'll do this. I see some text going on over there. Give me a minute. The Space Farmer's Almanac. Let's see. What we want to do now is I think like that. Select inverse, delete. How am I going to work that curve? Warp tool, of course. Doesn't have to be perfect, just good enough. That'll probably work. Let's go back down to our Sorkle. Select inverse. Delete a fate. I said no. No. I want to go back up to where our thing was. Thank you. Like that. There we go. That feels weak. That feels very, very weak. I like the idea of what I'm trying to do there. I just don't know how to accomplish it properly. Let's see. How do I need to do this? Oh, okay. That should work. Hold on. I think I grok it. Grok it. There. I think this is how I need to do it. Let's try it this way. And then same process. Burp, 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 invert. And then delete. That feels better. And then I can let's see, maybe I need to lighten it up a bit. Hey, there's text. What's up, Zona? I don't know if you caught it, but Ked gave a good tip on... Oh, thanks. No, I certainly hadn't. Ked has to say... Hopefully he sees my message eventually. It'll save him in the future. Layer FX over filters when you can. I don't know what layer FX means. Effects over filters. Check the layer FX to see if blur can be applied there as well. Oh, are you talking about for the shadow? Check the layer FX to see if blur can be applied there as well. It'll be non-destructive. Oh, I see what you're saying. Layer effects, huh? Lock layers, layer mask. I'm not seeing it, my man. New fill layer, gradient, maybe. You know, I think that's beyond my skill set, my mens. So, my apologies for being deficient in skill. But that's a great idea of going with the blur. that's really nice. Holy shit. Well, thanks for guiding me anyway, because that's the result that we need. I don't mind. I do a lot of stuff manually that can be done with effects, like blurs and Gaussians like that. I really need to have the computer do it for me. But like replicating patterns and stuff like that, a lot of times I just do it manually just to prove that I can, honestly. But I think I'm happy with this. It's not even 2 at this point. Oh, neat. And then our maps are there. I think I'm happy with where we're at. Planet, sphere. I think I need to look at, there's the rings. There, I think that's what I needed. Just a little bit of extra. Let's see if I can drop the opacity on that a touch, just to... down there. All right, I'm pretty fucking happy with that. Double click on your layer. Hey Phil, I don't know if you, I don't know what double clicking on my layer is. Oh, layer styles. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know how any of this shit works. This is not the time for me to learn it. But thank you. This is there's a billion tools in Photoshop, and I know like 6 of them. Hey, Shiner. Let's see. How do I want to... Okay, so now we have this. Now I feel like I want to layer darkness, some darkness in over this. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just some Photoshop scrub. There we go. Right on, Zona. Hey, thanks for being here, my guy. I've got about maybe 10 some odd minutes before I'm going to bounce out for work today, too. I'm going to be back from Martial Powers at lunchtime, though. If that's going to happen, I want to say 12:30, so like in about 5 hours. Yeah, that feels about right. In about 5 hours, I'll be back on for Martial Powers. We've been developing the alternate magic system for martial characters. We've got innovations and developments for the Barbarian, the Monk, the Paladin, and the Ranger today. And if I have time to process all that information with y'all, then we'll convert another one of the another Monk subclass into the martial power system overall. But we have advanced tech for base class features for those classes that I want to go through today. I'm pretty happy about. And we'll be doing a play test for the martial powers. Looks like in the new year is when I'm thinking this will be done in January, and at that point, that's when we'll be doing the martial powers play test, as well as pushing the Eberron project from Mondays and Thursday nights to here on Monday through Friday in the morning. The martial powers project then becomes our Monday Thursday night project. And we'll be running a playtest hex crawl campaign using the martial power system for levels 3 to 7, and that'll either be Monday or Thursday night, or possibly Saturday, depending on what. Well, folks that contribute $1 or more to my Patreon have first rights of access to what day that would be on, and then if the day that you can attend has been selected for use, then as a $1 Patreon subscriber, you would have first rights to table. Limit first 4. And if there's more patrons than seats at the table on the day that we decide to run it, then we'll just have to do a raffle system. And we'll just randomize it each time. But since it's a hex crawl, we can do it West March style. So whoever it is that shows up to the table, we can have a number of pre-generated characters that people can choose from, or if they know they're going to attend beforehand, they can build their own at whatever level is appropriate. So I'm thinking we'll spend 3 sessions at each level, level 3 through 7. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll be 15 weeks that we do playtesting at those levels, and depending on how it turns out and any tweaks that we need to make, we may revisit or extend staying inside of one level. But this is allowing me to also build out and playtest the Ravnica color land hex crawl system that I've been wanting to create for the past year and a half. And now this Martial Powers playtest is the opportunity for me to do that. So I am very, very excited. And then we'll be back tomorrow morning to continue with this project. And then Thursday night we'll be back to continue the Village Massacre map that we have for the Eberron adventure that we're building that we worked on last night. Saturday we'll continue working on the book cover commission that I've been building out, and I'm happy with the progress. So is the client, so that's coming along really nicely. And my lunch is free tomorrow. It's free on Thursday. And it's free on Friday. I don't know if I'm going to do a lunch stream every day for the rest of the week or not, but it's possible. It's just a matter of what is it. I know I need to. I need to continue moving forward with the Eldraine Monstrous Compendium that we grabbed off of D&D Beyond for a few bucks. To look at those 25 Eldraine Wilds of Eldraine inspired creatures, and I'm just looking for hints and clues and comparisons about how they're expressing color creatures from Magic the Gathering into D&D. So that's a side project that we've been streaming on a weekly basis that I'll probably put some time in on, maybe on Thursday. Right now I'm just creating a... There, let's do that, and let's go to our blur again with the Gaussian blur, Kearney. Like that. There we go. Do that. Create some roughness in there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. This is gonna end up pretty fucking sick when we're done. What I do need to do is make sure I'm not... not fuckering up my text. Which means I'll probably have to drop the planet down a little bit so that the rings don't interfere. Good. Good, good, good. Good like that. And then we can take the planet and then oops, let's try that again, shall we? Oops. Maybe not the entire right. Yeah, no, that for whatever reason that's not jiving. Why isn't that jiving? What did I do wrong? What does that have to do? Yeah, why is that doing like that? What am I not understanding about what I've done with my map? Disable that layer? Now what happens? It still gets weird. I've got oh, that's what it is. I've got a layer that's not connected. There it is. That should resolve it. Is there any other? Nope, looks like that should probably resolve it, right? Yeah. I just want to get the ring out from inside of that. There we go. Now things are working out the way that we want them to. Good. Good. Good, 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 good. Let's take this down like that. Work that away from the text. And that's the end of my session. I'm just waiting for the muse to let go. She's not quite finished doodling yet, so as soon as she lets go of my heart, I can be done for the day. So when we come back, we'll need to pepper in some stars, and then we can start working on these maps. These little vignette pop-out pieces here are going to be a zoom in on these rings to show that these things have their own gravity plane, while the planet itself has its own spherical gravity that pulls things to the planet. The rings have their own planar that allows people to walk along the top and the bottom of the rings, though they are at a vast scale. Actually, it might be a kind of a fun campaign to have taking place on the rings of a planet without having a means of getting of leaving those rings other than jumping off and then falling to your death on the planet below. But having like a low culture, like a low technology culture that basically farms and builds homes and kingdoms and stuff along this ring edge on both the top and the bottom side. And then like there could be like little junctures between one ring and another, so that like there could be crossing from one band to the next. But like this ring could be a completely separate nation from this ring. Or like there can be like 2 or 3 nations on this ring, while this outer ring is just like Badlands, and like there's dinosaurs on this one, and there's birds that can fly back and forth between the rings. That might be a fun little campaign. I don't know if I'd want to run a full 20 level campaign on it, but like a small like 5 level like little mini adventure might be fun. Low enough level that you can't, like not even 5th level, like 1st through 4th level, so low tech that you can't even, you know, get the fly spell to leave the ring that you're on, just as a limited scope random adventure sort of thing. Could be kind of cool. Let's do that. There we go. All right, gang. That's it for now. Good. That's not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. We'll have to. The muse is already futzing on me about angles over here. I'll need to work on how exactly I'm going to disperse all this stuff so it feels perfect. But once we get this smoky effect resolved, we'll be able to dash in some stars. We'll then be able to do an overlay here for this grid space here to emphasize how the gravity planes work in these circles. Once that's done, we can drop down to this. This is going to be a map of the Forgotten Realms water deep here, am over here, overland movement, indicating like travel time at the 1,000 miles square. So anyway, yep, that's the thing. So we'll stop there. I'm happy with this. If the rest of the book comes out this nicely, this is going to be a really badass document. So we'll be back continuing this tomorrow morning, same time. I'll be back in about 5 hours to work on martial powers. We've got some new tech to share. And we're trying to get to 500 subscribers. So if anyone thinks this stuff is cool, consider liking, subscribing, hitting the bell icon to get notifications in the future. Thanks a lot for hanging out, guys. And thanks for the tips. And thanks for keeping me company, guys. I'll see everyone on the other side. Cheers.